If you enjoy the content on this channel, please like and subscribe. Lee is a 2023 British biographical drama film directed by Ellen Kuras in her feature directorial debut from a screenplay by Liz Hannah, John Collee and Marion Hume. The film is adapted from the 1985 biography The Lives of Lee Miller by Antony Penrose. It stars Kate Winslet as World War II journalist Lee Miller. The cast includes Marion Cotillard, Andrea Riseborough, Andy Samberg, Josh O'Connor and Alexander Skarsgård in supporting roles. The movie took 8 years to make, and at one point, due to precarious funding, Kate Winslet, who also produced the movie, paid the entire cast and crew their salaries for 2 weeks. The film made its world premiere at the Toronto International Film Festival on the 9th of September 2023. It was released theatrically in the United Kingdom on the 13th of September 2024. Just a little about the real Lee Miller. Elizabeth Lee Miller, or Lady Penrose, was born on April 23, 1907 and died on July 21, 1977. She was an American photographer and photojournalist. Miller was a fashion model in New York City in the 1920s before going to Paris, becoming a fashion and fine art photographer there. During World War II, she was a war correspondent for Vogue, covering events such as the London Blitz, the liberation of Paris, and the concentration camps at Buchenwald and Dachau. Her reputation as an artist in her own right is due mostly to her son's discovery and promotion of her work as a fashion and war photographer. The project originated when cinematographer Ellen Kuras was at a bookshop in New York and spotted a tome about war photographer Lee Miller. Kuras noticed a similarity between Miller and actress Kate Winslet, with whom she had worked with in Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, and sent Winslet a copy of the book and kept another copy for herself. Years later, Winslet started developing a movie project about Miller and asked Kuras whether she would like to direct it. The project was officially announced in October 2015, with Winslet attached to star as Miller. Then in June 2020, Ellen Kuras signed on to be director, making this film her directorial debut for the cinematographer. The film would be inspired and based on the 1985 biography The Lives of Lee Miller, written by Miller's son, Antony Penrose, who supported the film and gave Kuras full access to his mother's personal archives, diaries, and even her unpublished work. The screenplay went through several rewrites. Winslet also served as a producer on the film. She chose the screenwriters and was also in charge of finances and casting, even personally calling her co-stars. In October 2021, Marion Cotillard, Jude Law, Andrea Riseborough and Josh O'Connor all joined the cast. And in February 2022, Andy Samberg was announced as being part of the cast as well. Then in October 2022, Alexander Skarsgård was cast, replacing Jude Law in the role of Roland Penrose. Winslet said she was patronized by male executives when she was trying to get the funding for the film. She would say, "The men who think you want and need their help are unbelievably outraging. I've even had a director say to me, 'Listen, you do the film and I'll get your little Lee funded.' Or we'd have potential male investors saying things like, 'Tell me, why am I supposed to like this woman?'" Filming would begin in September 2022 in Croatia. Production paused for a short period that month when Winslet slipped during filming and was taken to hospital. The accident happened on the first day of shooting when Winslet slipped and injured her back while she was rehearsing a sequence where Lee Miller was running down a street in St. Malo under bombardment. Winslet decided to keep filming despite her back injury, and barely was able to stand up. Filming also took place in Hungary and would wrap in December 2022. Some interesting trivia notes. Several of the stills that appear in the film are in fact photographs that Kate Winslet took on set. Some of Lee Miller's iconic photographs were recreated in the film, such as the famous photo taken of her in Hitler's bathtub in 1945. Lee Miller was one of just 4 female photographers accredited as official war correspondents with the US Armed Forces. A few months before the film was released, theatrically in the United States and the United Kingdom, Lee Miller was mentioned in the film Civil War, whose protagonist, Lee Smith, portrayed by Kristen Dunst, is a fictional photojournalist who's named after Lee Miller. Winslet and Dunst co-starred in Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, whose cinematographer was Lee's director, Ellen Kuras. Marion Cotillard was a big fan of Kate Winslet and presented her with the Best Actress Award at the 2009 Academy Awards when Winslet won for her role in The Reader. Cotillard herself had auditioned for the role of Hannah Schmitz in The Reader. A few years later, Cotillard stated that she'd always dreamed about making a movie with Winslet, and she was upset when they didn't share any scenes in Contagion, released in 2011. In 2012, Cotillard was featured in Winslet's book, The Golden Hat, Talking Back to Autism, with a celebrity self-portrait to raise awareness and support for autism. In 2013, Cotillard wrote a review for Variety praising Winslet's performance in Labor Day 2013 and also said she loved Winslet since the first time she saw her in Heavenly Creatures in 1994. Winslet would personally write a letter to Cotillard asking her to act in this film. Now, I found Lee to be a haunting, visually stunning biographical drama. I found this film to be truly captivating as it delves into the complex life of Lee Miller, a model turned war correspondent. For me, though, the absolute standout of this film has to, of course, be the phenomenal Kate Winslet, one of the finest actresses of our age. Kate Kate is one of those actresses that literally can play any role that she sinks her teeth into, but you could see this project meant a lot to her personally, as she really dives deep into making sure that Lee Miller is portrayed as a strong, courageous, tough, yet fair-minded photographer whose photos managed to tell a lot of the story behind the scenes of World War II. For me, this easily could be an Oscar-nominated performance, and it's her tour de force performance that really holds the film together. The film also has sensational cinematography, not surprising since Ellen Kuras, of course, was a cinematographer before making her directorial debut in this one. The film manages to successfully transport the viewers back to the 1930s and 40s of Europe and provides a very haunting portrayal of Miller's own experiences during World War II. I found the film incredibly emotional, particularly when Miller comes across, of course, the concentration camps. It's a stark reminder of the absolute atrocities committed by the Nazis. The film is also incredibly thought-provoking, and it's a real, true exploration of the trauma, identity, and feminism of the time. I feel Ellen Kuras' directorial debut really impresses, and she conveys the story in a convincing and perfectly told manner. The supporting cast are excellent as well. I really enjoyed Andy Samberg here, almost underplaying his role as Davy Sherman. Quite a juxtaposition from the usually over-the-top antics from Samberg. Skarsgård is also very good, as is Marion Cotillard, but of course they're all playing supporting roles to the spellbinding and unbelievable performance here from Kate Winslet. What this film does is it sheds light on Lee Miller's remarkable life and contributions, and it highlights the challenges faced by women in the male-dominated fields of World War II. I found this to be a visually stunning, emotionally resonant biopic that honours Lee Miller's extraordinary legacy, and with a phenomenal performance from the ever-talented Kate Winslet, this is a film not to be missed. Lee gets a 9 out of 10.